Hi folks, a very warm welcome to you once again. My name is Nick from the Commodore 64. I'm looking at a puzzle game called Deflektor, published by Gremlin Graphics in 1987. It's a puzzle game we've already reviewed on the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore Amiga. It's slightly easier on the Commodore Amiga, so we'll see how this one plays, how this one fits in. It's over 60 levels if you can get there, but starting at a start place, which is always the best place to start from, you must deflect a laser using mirrors positioned on the screen in a fixed position to destroy all the nodes and get to the receiver at the end. Right, so it might look a bit complicated first of all. I'm controlling this square. Now I'll press fire button, I can redirect the laser, so there it goes. You don't want the laser to overload by hitting the wrong thing. So look, I'm deflecting the laser here, and there's a lot of nodes there. There we go, so that mirror goes around like that. Destroy all the grey circles, don't hit the wrong things. In the bottom right, you'll see overload, and you'll see my energy going down as well, which is essentially a timer. Right, so try and get the green nodes. If I hit it in that green thing, it teleports there. So we've got a few left here. Each level is slightly more difficult. On the ZX Spectrum version, didn't get too much time before an overload happens. On the Amiga, it was a lot more generous, and I got more into the into the game. This one seems to be starting off slightly gentler. Well, more like the Commodore Amiga one at the moment. My lives are in the bottom left, you can see there. Don't get an overload. If you had this game back in the day, then let me know. Did you complete the thing? Because 60 levels is a hell of a challenge. And I've done that on my first go, just from memory of playing the other versions. Now, it might take you a bit longer if you're new to it. So here we go. So that's getting a bit more challenging now. If the laser hits any of those purple things, an overload will start happening. And I'd need to change the angle of the mirror pretty sharpish, or else I'll be in big trouble. Big nose. Right. Direct it over there. Plot your path. As soon as you've done it once, you'll be doing it every single time. That's destroyed one of them. Be wary of the energy or the time running out. You see the receiver there? That's in the top right this time, that red thing. There's a barrier in the way. That would disappear once I've destroyed all the grey orb nodes. Red. You know what to do now. And that's when the puzzle element now begins. You can have in-game music, I think, but I've got sound effects. It's a puzzling one. It's a good puzzling one. One to make you think. These reviews aren't about expert gameplay. You know this. Sorry to keep going on about it, but some people don't get it, and that's the reason I have to say it. It's not a walkthrough. It's about seeing how you would have got on in your first or second go. Would have been enough there if you want to play it again. Now, it would have annoyed some kids completely, and they might not have played it, but I would have gone on every so often, especially when I knew how to get there. There's no passwords, though, to jump to any level, which is a bit of a shame. Not that I know of, anyway. Right, now it's getting a bit tricky. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes on that side. I need to blow up somehow. Cow. Check out the overload when I hit a wrong thing every now and again. If that gets to the top, the screen will all go red, I think, and it'll be game over, or life over. Well, game over, I lost all 3 lives. I preferred the Amiga version to the ZX Spectrum one, just because it was a little bit easier, say, with the time. Right, now the overload's not going up super fast, it's slower. I think it's going up slower than the Amiga version, the Spectrum version. This has got some nice colour variation. Now if you had this game a lot back in the day, you'd be racing through. As I say, I think I did get to about level 6 or 7 on the Commodore Amiga. My brain must have been working quite well that day, but as we all know, as you get older, your brain gets worse at games, and kids seem to be brilliant at them straight away. I think it's because our brains are filled up with pin numbers, what we need to do at work, and about 106 other jobs. So that's where I would have to go in the end. Oh man, I thought I was going to race through this there, having done the levels before, but it's a while since I've played the game on those other versions. Perhaps I'm just forgetting, or maybe it's slightly different. Oh man, what could be easier than directing a laser about the place? Don't know. Okay. No. Are lasers bright yellow? They're pretty weak as a thing. Oh, look at that. I run out of time as I was faffing about. Faffing about is not an island south of Africa. Faffing about, I'd like to go there. If you are watching this from an island called Faffing About, then comment in the comment section below. Are you like Easter Island? And if you are like Easter Island, please don't chop all the trees down, or else you'll be in big doo-doo. Right, Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get past this or not. You can shout at the screen if you wish. Now, if you like Commodore 64 reviews, we've reviewed loads there, and if you like Commodore 64 reviews with dodgy gameplay and this sort of commentary guff, then well done. There's loads about in a playlist. How do I get there, Nick? I'll tell you. You go to, well, you click on my username, right? That takes you to the channel page. You click on playlist. Commodore 64 will be there, along with a lot of other systems. Not all the systems, but a lot of other systems. ZX Spectrum is the biggest one, because that's the system I owned when I was a kid back in the day. Sometimes I joke that we'll review everything ever, but I don't think it's possible, because they keep writing them. I don't think it's even possible to review all of the classic ones. I won't review any rude stuff though. There are some rude stuff about, you know. So this is a PG channel. There's no swearing. I might say the word nincompoop or something like that happens. Oh, you nincompoop! But that's about as far as it gets. So if school yards or playgrounds are filled up with all kids calling each other a nincompoop, then I am the one to blame. Unless it goes to court, then I'm not. Code by J. Perkins. Wasn't that the name of that fat guy in Star Wars? No, that was Jet Porkins. Two different people. Yeah, Jack Porkins, look him up. He deserves his own film in Star Wars. Right, a high score, and here I go again. So I should race through level 1. Level 2, for some reason, is giving me a bit of bother, because my brain's probably packed up. I'm a busy man. I'd like to run this channel full time. If you've watched this far into the video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed already, then well done you. If you want to know when videos go up live on the channel, quite often I'll put a link on Twitter, Jenkins7Nick, for as long as I am on Twitter, because it's very dodgy at the moment in the Elon Musk era. Can we call it Twitter anymore? Is it called X? I don't know. I might have to change the logo that goes up at the start of the thing. But as long as I'm on there, tried Freds, but I'm not sure if that's picking up at all. I really am in super duper ooper limbo there. But anyway, follow me on Twitter. I'll put links up to the videos live as they go up, or alternatively, if you don't do this social media malarkey, if you click on the bell notification, it will send you an alert each time a video goes up. Yes, hooray, if it works. Good biff. Thank you to the members for keeping this channel running. I know there's some Commodore 64 fans out there. I know a few of you like Amstrad CPC. I get asked every now and again, is doing Amstrad CPC. I've got no plans to do Amstrad CPC. Sorry about that. I think ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64 and Atari 2600 are enough in the 8-bit at the moment. We touch on 16-bit Sega Mega Drive at present and Commodore Amiga. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that as we run out of games, specifically on the Commodore Amiga. But we might be some else screen Master System possibly at some point. Right, the precursor to the Mega Drive or the Genesis. I've done it again. See, I could do that in my sleep. Now it's level 2 of 60, so I haven't really completed too much of the game. So if you bought this back in the day, there's quite a lot of content here. And if you're into puzzle games, you could be playing this for absolutely weeks and hours and months and years. Came out in 1987, that's a little while ago. If this is your only game, you're still trying to complete it. I suspect level 6 would be quite evil. It'd be interesting to see if they had a level creator. But I don't think one was released back in the day, but they might have had one to create the game in the first place. So to play test it to see if it was absolutely possible. Deflektor laser with mirrors, don't overload, don't run out of energy, which I've done there. It's not easy within these games as I'm talking at the same time. Oh man, Caravan. Single screen, one player, get as far as you possibly can. It's a good game, it's a good puzzle game. I'm sure it must have scored quite well back in the day. It's a nice little idea. There's another game we recently reviewed on the ZX Spectrum which is a bit like this, but it involves a tank trying to position the mirrors, and I think that's just overcomplicating an already winning system. Like playing Scrabble, but then having a tank to put your letters on the screen. You don't need the tank. Just keep it basic like this. Right. Okay. We'll keep reviewing the Commodore 64 stuff. At the moment, one video goes up a week. Yeah, I do like comparing these with the ZX Spectrum, which I grew up with. The Commodore 64 sometimes has some great music going on. It's got a different colour palette, of course. Seems like very lot of purples and blues in there, and browns. You have a lot of those. But ZX Spectrum is quite garish in its colour palette, but whatever you grew up with, it's the nostalgia, isn't it? And you learn to love that. Lots of fights in the playground about what was the best. I never really got involved in that back in the day, and I certainly won't get involved in it now. I like seeing what both the systems have to offer. I'm like that person that likes the Jedi and the Sith. Yes, well, make of that as you may. So if the Spectrum is the Jedi and the Commodore 64 is the Sith, or vice versa, what does that make the Amstrad CPC? The Ewoks? I don't know. Maybe they're the Rebel Alliance. You might have some thoughts on that below. Or the Dragon 32 boys, girls, what does that make them? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm just a crazy loony trying to make his way in the universe. I ain't got time to muck about with Ewoks and Jedi and stuff. I'm just trying to deflect lasers into things. Actually, imagine the Death Star in Star Wars, where it fired its super weapon, and each planet had a mirror, and they angled it at 45 degrees, whatever they was, and blew it back up. That would have taught them a darn lesson. The Death Mirror. The last thing they suspect, I'd imagine. In your face, Daft Dingbat. Right, I've gone off on a tangent again, as I tend to do. I make no apologies. I'm just stress busting away. Gradually going insane. That's a lie. I'm insane already. You might be insane already. This is a departure from everyday life. So if you're going for a bit of stress, binge watch loads of stuff. Help me out as I overload again. Overload. Yeah, don't overload. I'm not going to get off level 2, am I? I'm just mucking about like a darn nincompoop with mirrors. At least I'm not doing this in real life. This is why I'm not an optician that does laser surgery. Your eyes might get fixed, or I might laser a window across the street. But I don't think laser surgery involves loads of mirrors around the office. I don't think so. Citation needed. I'd have to check. If you're a laser eye corrective optician that bounces lasers around an office with mirrors that occasionally hits the office across the street, then comment in the comment section below. We like to increase the knowledge for everyone watching the video, so we all learn together, so we win every pub quiz in the land. That's it. That's what we're doing. What's going on? I do not know. Don't ask me. This channel's just here by random chance. And you clicked on it. Well done. You found it. I'm not sure how not many people have found it percentage-wise in the world, but you're one of the few that have done. So make of that as you will. Well, I quite like that game. The Amiga version is the easiest. ZX Spectrum Commodore 64 maybe needs a bit of help, but maybe practice makes perfect there. So hope you like having a look at that. A rather nice puzzle game, which I knew I was going to like already. Nice music going on here. It's Deflektor on the Commodore 64, published by Gremlin Graphics in 1987. I'd recommend playing this one on any system, really. But if you want an easier challenge, Commodore Amiga. Yeah, I hope you got some fun out of that one. If you've got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that in the comment section below. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye. So this is a PG channel. There's no swearing. I might say the word nincompoop when something like that happens. Oh, you nincompoop! But that's about as far as it gets. So if school yards or playgrounds are filled up with all kids calling each other a nincompoop, then I am the one to blame.